Buddhism developed in three main forms: Hinayana Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, and Vajrayana Buddhism. Now, the literal meaning of Hinayana is lesser vehicle, or the lesser cart, or the lesser path. On the other hand, the literal meaning of Mahayana Buddhism is greater vehicle, or the greater path, or the greater cart. Hinayana Buddhism developed as the orthodox school of Buddhism. The Hinayanis, they believed that strictly the teachings of Buddha should be applied without any deviation. On the other hand, Mahayana school of Buddhism emerged as the heterodox school of Buddhism, where the Mahayanis, they believed that the teachings of Buddha should be interpreted in a liberal way as per the time. Hinayana Buddhists, they were the closest to the idea of Buddha, and they believed that Buddha was a human, but a perfect human, or arhat. Compared to that, Mahayana Buddhists, they deviated away from the core ideas of Buddha, and they started considering Buddha as God. And gradually they started the worship of images of Buddha. Hinayana Buddhism talks about individual salvation. Mahayana Buddhism, on the other hand, talks about universal salvation with the help of bodhisattvas. Now, who were bodhisattvas? The Mahayanis, they believe that the bodhisattvas, they are enlightened beings capable of getting salvation, but they are delaying their salvation to help others to get salvation and enlightenment. And they believe that the universal salvation is possible with the help of bodhisattvas. Again, if you talk about Hinayana Buddhism, most of the literature of Hinayanis, they are in Pali, the language of the general people that time. Compared to that, the Mahayanis, they deviated away from the language of the general people, and their literature mainly is in Sanskrit. Hinayana Buddhism was patronized by many rulers. The greatest of them was Ashoka. Mahayana Buddhism was also patronized by many rulers. The greatest of them was Kanishka, the Kushana ruler, and later Harshvardhan also patronized Mahayana form of Buddhism. Hinayana Buddhism became very prominent in Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. On the other hand, Mahayana Buddhism became very prominent in the areas like China and Japan. It is very interesting to find out that Ashoka sent a mission to Sri Lanka with daughter Sangamitra and son Mahendra to propagate Hinayana form of Buddhism there in Sri Lanka. Now, when we try to understand the third form of Buddhism, that is Vajrayana Buddhism, and when we see the word Vajra, the meaning of the word Vajra is strong or something that is indestructible. So basically, it represents a path or a cart or a vehicle that is indestructible, and that would help the humans in crossing the ocean of life. It is very interesting to figure out the rise of Vajrayana Buddhism was there because of the mixing of ideas of Buddhism with Tantricism. When the cult of Tantricism mixed with the ideas of Buddhism in East, that led to the rise of Vajrayana style of Buddhism. And this is the same reason why this branch of Buddhism is esoteric in its nature, believing in mystical cults. What they believe basically is that the salvation could be there through with the help of magic, with the help of gurus, and with the help of worship of the fierce deities Taras. Now, who were Taras? they are considered the associates of bodhisattvas. Now, the Vajrayanis, they believe that with the help of magic, with the help of Guru, the salvation could be there. In Tibet, the Gurus, basically, they are called Lamas. Now, this form of Vajrayana Buddhism basically emerged from the Vikramshila University. Vikramshila University in Bihar. And from there, it became very popular in the areas of Bihar, Bengal. From there, it also spread to Tibet, and from there to other Himalayan nations like Nepal, Mongolia, and so many other places. Again, it is very interesting to find out that Vajrayan style of literature is mainly in Sanskrit, and Vajrayana style of Buddhism was mainly patronized by the Pala rulers of Bihar and Bengal. Now, this is what I wanted to discuss with you in this session of History Simplified series. I would also like to invite suggestions from your side what you would like to discuss with me in the next session of History Simplified series. Thank you.